Hello and good morning. The question has been sweeping the nation for quite some time now. Should certain individuals be permitted to carry guns on campus? Some people seem to believe that this will create a safer, more peaceful environment. Others argue that no good can come of the idea. I have to cast my vote with the latter. In my opinion, firearms have absolutely no place on university campus, especially in the hands of a student. There are obvious reasons that I could use to back my decision, such as the increased risk of a potential shooting or violent crime, but there are other possibilities that can stem from this privilege that would prove just as dangerous that people may not immediately think to consider. I want to discuss some of the lesser talked about consequences today. First of all, the danger of a student possessing a gun may not even be directed at the fellow students. Maybe we should be more concerned about the gun owner themselves. College students are notorious for engaging in high-risk behaviors such as binge drinking and drug abuse. Does it really sound safe for a drunk college student to be allowed to have a firearm in their own dorm? I understand that this may not apply to all university students. However, statistics show that this isn't just a common stereotype. Binge drinking is a serious problem in our universities today, with nearly half of America's full-time college students engaging in this behavior on a regular basis. When you factor in the suicide rates of college kids, you begin to realize where a problem might arise. College students are under more pressure than most of them have ever been under before, putting them at an elevated risk of taking their own lives. There are about 1,100 successful suicides committed by students each year in the U.S. and about 24,000 other attempts. Of course, it is a well-known fact that drinking and drug abuse lead to an increased risk in suicide in young people as well. When you combine these factors together, you begin to seriously play with fire. Even though the students with the guns may not wish to harm other individuals, they may be battling demons that their friends and family know nothing about or choose to ignore. Allowing guns on campus would be a recipe for disaster in this type of situation. If the first reason didn't convince you, this probably will. Even our law enforcement have shown a clear hesitation and opposition to allowing guns on university campuses. Let's just start out by stating the obvious. Allowing firearms on campus will make it harder for law enforcement to weed out potentially dangerous students. At the moment, if a police officer sees a student carrying a gun on campus, they know that the action needs to be taken immediately. This is for the protection of the student body and another way to prevent school shootings. However, if innocent students were carrying guns, how would the police know who to confront and who not to confront? Would they stop every student with a weapon in their track and ask for a permit? Probably not. Besides, according to CNN, university police chiefs around the nation agree that allowing firearms on campus would be unnecessary and a risky move. In a poll conducted in 2009, only 5% of these police chiefs believed that the law would be an improvement. That is a very low percentage. Just in case you were wondering, university students aren't so hot on the idea either. In 2013, 15 Midwestern colleges found that 78% of college students were against the idea of guns being allowed on campus. So, we have the university police and the university students asking us not to change the gun policies. I'm not sure who is proposing the ideas, maybe individuals who don't deal with modern university life. Who knows? I mean, you have activists on both sides, and who knows if they really know the actual student population life. In defense of those who are supporting the idea of allowing guns on campus, I can completely understand the picture they have painted in their minds. People have stated that a female university student carrying a gun would be safer. She would have a form of self-defense and less rape would take place on campus. While the statement makes sense on the surface, it unfortunately isn't exactly true. You see, by carrying a firearm, a woman increases her chance of dying by homicide by 500% when she is confronted with a domestic abuser. So, when Nevada legislator Michelle Fiore said, "If these young, hot little girls on campus have a firearm, I wonder how many men will want to assault them," she was really speaking ignorantly on this subject. In this case, maybe we should take maybe we should be taking a different approach altogether to handle the situation. Instead of providing firearms to students to allow them to protect themselves from other students, we should work on cutting down the amount of violence on our campuses to begin with. I believe that in this case, there needs to be more awareness about rape on campuses. And let's talk about guns on campuses. Because if we begin to use guns to solve all of our problems, aren't we condoning the criminal acts in which we should be trying to prevent? So, firearms could increase the risk of suicide on campuses. Innocent lives that could have been saved had someone offered them help. Cops have deemed allowing guns on university campuses a bad idea, and so have the students that attend the universities. Last but not least, guns could increase the severity of domestic violence on college campuses and would be counterproductive towards the goals which we should all wish to achieve, which would be to end rape altogether. But that's another subject. Honestly, while there may be a few positives that you could use in an argument, a few companies that would make money off of it, and a few college kids that would be excited about it, the pros do not outweigh the cons. If we allow firearms to be placed in the hands of young adults at these universities, you can guarantee that we are setting ourselves up for disaster. When push comes to shove, firearms have no place on campus. Thank you.